I'm not really sure what genre Dungeon Inn is, but I do know it's an early access game that's a little bit strategy, a little simulation, and a little bit of a tycoon game. It's a lot of fun, and I really can't wait to see what it turns into once it's all done. You are the owner of an inn near the entrance of a dungeon. There are two rival adventurer guilds, and they're trying to explore the dungeon. And they have to stop by at your inn to, rest up or do whatever before they go into the dungeon. The goal is to keep the two guilds separate so they don't start fighting in front of your inn. Or you need to limit the number of fights that they have, and also kind of manage the suspicion level of both guilds. It's a pretty fun game, and I really want to see where the story goes, but right now it's still in early access and it's not quite finished yet. I do really like the story so far. Once it's finished, I'm sure it'll be great. Where I'm currently at, it kind of ends on a cliffhanger. Once, again, it's done, I'll find out more just what happens, how the two guilds, I'm assuming, eventually figure out what's going on. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm not exactly sure what the whole setup for this thing was. There is an opening cutscene, but I was not paying attention to it when I first started playing this. I think you're like a group of three merchants. You're kind of selling to both sides of this weird conflict, I guess, that's going on between these two rival guilds. And you seek shelter, end up in a dragon's lair, and then you sign a contract with this dragon to run an inn that caters to both rival guilds. It's weird. I don't know why the two guilds hate each other. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it's kind of odd. And I don't know why the dragon would really go along with this. I mean, you're paying him. He kind of acts like your landlord in all of this. But I don't know how long you need to keep doing this. Like, are you just perpetually stuck in this place? It's very strange. You eventually get joined by May, who's... I don't really know who she is right now, because the game doesn't really expand on that. But she kind of shows up, and she's representing some weird group that apparently works with the dragon. And you get a few missions from her and everything. It's kind of cool. So here are the characters in this. You have the dragon, he's your landlord. Then you have Sarah, she's kind of like your main character and is just obsessed with money. It's great. Then you have Butter. He's one of the two cat people in this game. He's very laid back and doesn't really seem to care about what's going on. Then you have Bammy, who is the other cat person, who is very high strung. And then you've got May, and then there's this detective that shows up at the end who's very suspicious of just what's going on at the inn. He's also an author as well. And that's where it ends, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes. So this is a turn-based game. You have basically 4 turns in one day. There are 5 days in 1 week, and every 4 weeks you have to deliver your money to the dragon. It's pretty easy to get the money that you need. I never really had a problem with it. You can basically manage how people show up at the inn, because you want to keep the Seaside Guild away from the Mountain Guild. It's... I really wish that there was some explanation why these two guilds don't like each other, aside from color and location of their city, but I guess that's all you really need. You have these little items that can either slow down people on their path or speed them up, or you can put down something that will cause them to kind of go and, like a little food stall, I guess, and that'll get you money as well. There's a little sign that you can put out that'll attract people to the inn. Each of your characters has their own kind of superpower. One can join the battles. One can put up like this portal to bring people into the inn without the other side knowing. It's pretty cool. Oh, and one of them can like distract people as long as they're a novice adventurer, so that they kind of avoid the battle and they don't fight in front of the inn. There's a suspicion meter at the bottom of the screen, and when that gets filled up, I'm guessing something bad happens, or you have to restart. I never got that far. The suspicion will go up if there is a fight in front of the inn, and you don't pick a side to fight alongside of. So you can send in one of your characters to fight, or you can send these little wisps along with you that are with you. They can go fight. It's a really cool setup, and there's a lot going on in this. You'll also get little side missions that'll give you like more money and that sort of thing. And you can upgrade your inn as well. By completing these different missions, you get tokens for either the seaside or the mountain guild, and that's what you use to upgrade the different rooms in your inn. So your inn is divided in two halves, just to keep the two guilds away from each other, even though they come through the same door. Yeah, it's weird and kind of wacky. I love it. Overall, I really like the gameplay a lot. It's just really relaxing to look at this. It's not too stressful. Even when you've got a lot of stuff to manage and you're trying to get people into your inn, it never feels like overwhelming or kind of, stressful. It just feels like a very easy game to play. And it's a lot of fun to go through. Dungeon Inn is a really bright and cheery game. The art style looks something like a Saturday morning cartoon from the 2000s. The sprites at time are a little small, but they're all color-coded, so you know exactly who the novice adventurers are, who the experts, and who the masters are. You can also pretty easily tell which characters are super important when you have one that has to get to the inn at a certain time. You'll also see like little events above them. They'll have like a little exclamation point, so you know when they get to your inn, something will happen. It's kind of cool. You can easily see the path that these adventures are going to take to your inn. It's really awesome. When you need to kind of disrupt them, get them to move in a different way, that's really easy to see and pretty easy to do as well. Everything's just very easy, and the visuals help out with that a lot. I also love the little sprites for all the different characters. It just looks like such a weird world with a bunch of frogs and humans, werewolves, strange rock people, and turtles all living side by side. It's really funny. I don't know why I find it funny, but I just really do. The battle scenes look really funny too. You see everybody line up, so you think it would be a turn-based RPG, but instead the two sides just run at each other, and then you have the cartoonish cloud of smoke, and when it's all over, one side is gone, the other side is still there, and you know who the winner is. It's just a really fun game. Just looking at it made me smile. This is just a cozy and really relaxing game. There's a charm to it that made me smile while I was playing this. It can be really goofy when it needs to be. I mean, two of the main characters are cats, for Christ's sake. How can you possibly be mad at that? The story ends on a cliffhanger due to it still being in early access, so that'll be really cool to see just where it goes from there. I'm looking forward to seeing just what happens in this game, what features get added, what sort of improvements are done to it, and definitely seeing what happens with the story, because I'm really hooked on that, and I'm excited to see just how this whole thing plays out. And also how long they're trapped into this contract, because it seems like a pretty crappy contract, but whatever. Anyway, that's going to wrap things up. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.